Hey guys, Benji here with another question of the week. Question of the week is, what would you ask your younger self to do differently to help you prepare for aging well? So, what would you do differently to help you to prepare for aging well? Um, I would probably, it's kind of hard, um, because I do think some of the stuff that you do that's probably bad for your health long term was actually fun when you were younger. Um, but my first inclination would be like, don't drink so much. As a kid I didn't drink anything through high school and even freshman year of college. And then sophomore year, I started drinking a little bit. And then, yeah, I mean, you get into your 20s and, everybody's out at the bars, especially people of my generation. And yeah, I just spent a lot of money. So, that would have helped too, right? I could have started saving earlier. Um, so I think that would be a good idea is drink less. For one, it'd be better for your health. For two, it would be better for your savings account or get a better house, do something useful with it. But on the other hand, I also had a lot of fun doing that and made a lot of memories. And yeah, you did stupid stuff too. So it wasn't all freaking, you know, unicorns and fairy dust kind of stuff. It was yeah, a lot of it was stupid, but I think it couldn't have helped you. It's just a lot of poison to be putting in your body. And as we can see that from my ex-wife Haley, Josh's wife Kim, countless people that are having real issues as they hit 45, 50, and have continued to drink at a high level. So, as a 51-year-old right now, I'm a guy that might have, man, on a heavy week of drinking, I might have 6 cocktails a week. But on light weeks, like where I'm at right now, I haven't had a drink in a long time. I would say, a week and a half, 2 weeks. So over the course of a month, I'm probably having 12 drinks. Um, and none of those are like, benders. I'm not getting drunk anymore. Just like, with dinner, have a glass of wine or, after golf, have a beer, have a cocktail, but nothing crazy. Much more. That's probably what I wish I would have done through my whole life is still go have fun, still go out, still have a drink, have a few beers, but you don't need 10, 12, sometimes 20 or 25 in the course of a day. It's horrible to say. I can't imagine how I would feel nowadays at 51 doing that. But what else would I do? Um, of course, you're gonna say like, "Oh, I should have exercised more and I should have taken care of myself." I mean, yes, you should have. But there's still part of me, that thinks, I mean, you probably search out things that make you feel better. So I probably find these things or I read these things when they come across my timelines or social media or YouTube or something. But I still think me and even my family, my brothers, we're just bigger dudes. Our grandfather was a bigger guy. Dad's not really a bigger guy. He's kind of a skinnier guy. But me, Josh, Kit, you know, we're just bigger dudes. And even when I go to my doctor, you know, it's not like he's saying, hey, you're at 275 or 280 pounds, whatever I'm at now, which is horrible. I'm not saying that's where you should be. Um, he even says like, hey, guys like you, like, I'm not trying to get you, down to 185 pounds. That's just not going to be you. He's a real skinny guy, my doctor. And he's like, I couldn't get to 210 pounds if I tried. He's like, and I do try, right? Like Sierra's boyfriend, Charlie. That's all he tries to do is he tries to put on weight and he just can't, right? His body it just wants to do it. And his dad looks the same way, right? His dad's skin and bones, just like Charlie. And so my doctor's like, I would love to get you down to 235. if we could get rid of 40 pounds off you, that would be awesome. But he's like, he's like, that's just not how you're. And he even said the first time I met with him, he said, do you have brothers? And I said, yeah, I got 2 brothers. He's like, my guess is they have the same build as you. And I said, well, yeah, we're kind of all that same size. He's like, you're fighting your genetics. And so of course I would want to stay healthy, but for the most part, I've actually stayed active my whole life, right? I mean, I do have friends of mine that are close to me that, you go on a golf trip, you go do something with them for an extended period of time, several days on end. And they're like, man, I really thought you maybe ate more than most people, or like you snacked throughout the day or did anything. And they're like, you kind of eat what all of us eat. And I'm like, I know, I kind of think that too, and I met Jen and she thought the same thing. She was kind of like, like, I eat just as much as you do. And I'm like, yeah, I don't really eat a lot. And, I have seen things on YouTube from doctors and people that help people, lose weight. And one of them always stuck with me where he said, I work with a lot of people. This is what I do. I help people, to lose weight and really get healthier. And he said, for the most part, people that are fat, he's like, I'm not talking about the morbidly obese. Those people tend to be, you start getting up into 400, pounds and plus. He's like, those people, it's habits, that you can't get that big. But he said, the people that I see that are 250 to 325 pounds, he's like, they're not overeating. He's like, they're not sitting around all day. They're still active. They're an active, normal human. He's like, are they working out a ton? No. Are they in the gym 5 days a week? No, they're not. They're just regular people. But a lot of regular people are, a lot of regular men are at 205 pounds. And he's like, some people just are going to be normal at 260 pounds. And he said, it doesn't mean it's anything. So my doctor was great. And some of the videos I've seen of some guys that deal with this each and every day. So it makes me go, yes, I could have fought it my whole life, right? I mean, the one that I always go to or I think of is Oprah, right? I mean, she would get bigger and she would get skinny, and she would get bigger and she'd skinny. And at some point she kind of said, she found a doctor, I don't know who it was, Dr. Bob or whoever she has, that's like, this is just who you are. And it's okay. We can fight it. If you want to be 150 pounds, you can do this, but your body's probably more comfortable at 190 to 200 pounds. And that's okay. I mean, because Oprah's got to be, I have no idea how old she is. I'm going to say 70. I don't know. And she still looks great. She's still good. Is she a little bit bigger lady? Yeah, I guess. But it's not like, I mean, look at our president right now. It's 2026, so it's Donald Trump. I mean, he's a big fat dude. So it's not like it's a death sentence, to to be up in the upper twos for a guy. But I probably wish I had better habits. There's 2 things I wish I did. I wish I went to the gym 3 days a week. Now, I do play golf 2 to 3 days a week where I'm walking 15,000 steps on those days. Those are pretty good workout days, right? That's a lot of steps. And when I can get those are great. In the summer, I tend to lose weight because I play golf. In the winter, you play less golf, so you're doing more sitting, so I don't get the steps that I should be getting. But that's what, the question is, what would you ask your younger self to do differently? It's kind of a boring answer. It's, hey, you should probably drink less. You should probably the number one thing I would say is start instilling some habits. It would have been nice to have had habits that were ingrained, through my 20s, and now I just liked going to the gym, or it was just something that you just do into your 40s and 50s. Now, I think as we retire, or retiring here in just a little bit, I think that I will get more into, and I'm making an effort, right? Is that when we don't have work, when we don't have anything else to do, we are going to make exercise a habit. Now, exercise might mean, 18,000 steps. It doesn't mean that we're going to go train for a marathon or go climb, some big mountain. It just might be that we're going to make a concerted effort every day to not ever have the 4,000 step day. Might get back into some more jogging, some more biking, some more of that kind of stuff. That sounds great. But I think that's the thing that I wish I did. I just wish I had made it more of a habit. I'm good at making habits, right? Like I meet with friends every week and we go play golf and we go get dinner afterwards and we have a drink and those are fun. And I do that 2 or 3 days a week and it's great. I just never made the habit for myself to say, hey, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night, you're gonna go work out. You're gonna go work out for half an hour, 45 minutes. Doesn't take a ton, just to get into that and do it. So, but that's something that we're gonna do. Jen and I have kind of said like, hey, when we go, we are going to make a time every day, and we're thinking like late afternoon, where we say, if we haven't gotten our steps that we need, then we need to go do something and get those steps and maybe work in some sit-ups, push-ups, some of the little calisthenics that you can do that help out a ton, right? And again, it's not the fact that you can do 15 push-ups that does it good. It's the fact that you can do 15 push-ups 6 days a week for an entire year or for years and years. And it becomes a habit. And all of a sudden you're like, oh man, look how healthy those guys are. Like, well, they're not healthy because they worked out for 2 months. They're healthy because they've been working out since they retired, and that was 6 years ago. And Jen is 134 pounds and Benji is 228, and they both look great. That's what we hope. That would be the goal. So that's probably what I would say. I keep looking over here to the question. What would I do differently? That's probably it. I would try to instill some habits. Sierra has those good habits. Her and Charlie work out 5 days a week, 6 days a week. So they're doing a good job of instilling those habits. They will probably continue to do that for the rest of their life, just because they've been doing it for years now. And it's just something that they like doing. And when they don't do it, it bothers them. So it's kind of like me with golf, right? When I don't play golf for a couple weeks, in the winter, man, you get itchy and you can't wait to get out because it's just something that you've done and that you always do. So, or if you due to weather, you don't play on a Tuesday or a Thursday, typically when I play golf, it does make you go, hey, let's get out Friday, or hey, what about Wednesday? Wednesday's gonna be nice. I know today was bad, but let's get out. So it does make that habit. So that's probably all I would do. I'd probably be less of the, hey, I wish I wouldn't have drank so much. Probably at 51, when I had too much to drink at 27, my liver has probably worked that out by now, and it probably hasn't caused, I hope, fingers crossed, too much irreparable harm. But yeah, probably more just the habits of maintaining healthy. I do wish that I didn't like soda, pop so much. But there's also part of me that says, I do like it. It's a pleasure that I have, and it's not the worst thing in the world. Again, there's endless doctors that are like, hey, if you're a person that has 1 or 2, drinks or cans of soda every day, you shouldn't do it, but it's also not like smoking. It's also not like, some of the worst things. It's not like drinking alcohol, having 4 glasses of alcohol a day. No, you shouldn't do it, but you'll be fine. And my doctor said the same thing. He's like, what about, carbonated beverages? Do you drink soda, and is it diet or regular? I'm like, no, it's not diet, it's regular. He's like, I'd love to see you cut it out, but if you enjoy it, it's not the worst thing. He's like, I don't want it I love my doctor because he is actually a regular guy. He's a skinny guy. It looks like he works out a lot. He's in shape. But he's also like, I could come in here and tell you hey, no more desserts, no more soda, no more drinking, never smoke again, only eat high protein vegetables and fruits. He's like, but it's not realistic. He's like, realistic is If you really like desserts, well, have desserts. Don't have a ton of them. If you really like soda, try to keep it to one a day. If you really like X, you really want to do this thing, you really like beer, well then have beer. That's not my vice. I don't have that. I don't sit around at home. You know, all my buddies are always flabbergasted when I'm like, I have maybe had 4 cocktails in my life. Maybe. I don't even think it's that. I say that just because I don't want to say zero, because I'm sure I maybe had a beer at some point by myself, but never, I would say for the most part. I don't ever sit around in the house and have 2 beers watching a football game. Never. I would grab anything. I would grab a water, I would grab Kool-Aid, I would grab lemonade, I would grab a pop, I would grab iced tea, something else. That's not my go-to. So whatever those are, his point was, let's moderate those. Let's not make them nevers, because never is probably not going to happen. So let's just be a little smarter. And so I like that take about it. So yeah, that's my answer for that question. Kind of a harder question than I thought it was going to be. So yeah, it was a good one. All right, talk to you later, guys.